Thanks, Pat. I appreciate you rubbing in the hot and sunny in San Diego. That is one of my favorite places in the world. All right. It looks like we're good to start. If any of you have any guests that are going to be joining us, just remember that they're going to need to dial in for audio if their laptop or their computer has no speakers. And I'm going to type the number in, but if you could jot that down so that you have it for them, I'm not going to be able to stop while I'm presenting. It's 712-432-6142. I'm going to type it in the chat box now. 104557 is the PIN number, and this way they'll be able to listen in while they're watching our presentation. All right, it's 6:01. We're going to get started. Welcome everyone. My name is Danielle Rich, and I am in Connecticut, and I'm going to be presenting to you a company called Qivana that has changed my life and my husband's life in the last 14 months that we've been involved in this company. We have our story of how we even got involved in Qivana. If someone told me that I'd be on a webinar speaking with people all over the country and all over Canada and Mexico and Vietnam 2 years ago, I would have laughed. But it's been really a wonderful 14 months, and it's helped us out of foreclosure. So what I'm about to show you is something that can either bring in some supplemental income for you or could actually exit out of what you're currently doing after putting in some X number of months of committed work, or it can retire you, whatever level you choose to bring it to. When my husband and I saw this last April of 2011, we were at a position where our construction company had almost gone belly up. We owned 3 small businesses in Connecticut, 2 children. I'm a busy mom, and it was one of those things where my husband and I just said, all right, we'll take a look. Good friends of ours, Debbie and Lou DeMeo out of Guilford, Connecticut, came to us and said, you need to take a look at this company. And so at that point, we just figured we'd give it a whirl. There was no excitement about seeing the presentation. We were kind of like, let's get it over with. And 30 minutes after the presentation, about 35 minutes later, we looked at each other and he said, well, if this hits as big as I think it'll hit, we'll never forgive ourselves for not giving it a shot. And so I'm excited to show you guys. I know there's a lot of you online who are already in Qivana, and I know you know how exciting it is, but we do have guests that are watching, and I want to share with them the experience that I've been through and also show them the company. So we're going to get started. Qivana is a nutraceutical company. What does that mean? We are pharmaceutical grade natural products, and we are located in Provo, Utah. That's where our headquarters is. And we're just shy of 3 years old. So this company has been doing record-breaking sales in just under 3 years. We've hit over 53 million in sales, which is really record-breaking. And I believe a lot of it has to do with our products being so effective. When you have products that work and they're all natural and then give people the results that they're looking for, you're very likely to have committed and loyal customers. And that's really what's happened to us in the last 14 months. Experts predict that Qivana will be the largest natural product company in the world, and I was a little bit skeptical when I heard that because I'm a corporate sales girl. I've been in sales my whole life. I'm also a licensed real estate agent. And when I hear things like that, you know, I've done presentations for companies before, and they all say that they're going to be the best. But there is a lot of data to back up what Qivana has done and their track record and their performance thus far. And so far, I want to give you some statistics so that you'll understand where we stand as a company. One is we are cash flow positive and debt-free since day one. We started with over $7 million in liquid cash. So that is that's a huge predictor of how strong of a company we are. Second is we are one of only, there have been over 50,000 direct sales companies that have started since Avon, and we're one of the only ones that have really gone out there and beat the top 15. And the top 15 are companies that have hit $1 billion or more in sales each year. And I'm going to name some of those companies because you probably know them. Herbalife, they do over $3 billion a year. Monavie, Melaleuca, Primerica, Tupperware, Mary Kay, Avon. All of those companies are multi-billion-dollar giants. They have incredible science, incredible products, millions of distributors across the globe. And Qivana has beat out all 15 of those out of 50,000. And how quickly we've grown and how fast we are becoming, we're just becoming global very quickly. So we're going to talk about the countries we're in. We're going to talk about the markets. And we're going to talk about how you can position yourselves like Don and I did for very, very low overhead. We look back now and we've taken that initial investment, and as of today, we have turned it over 94 times. So it's brought in over $94,000 to our home. That sounds like it's amazing money, and it is. But what amazes me more is in all the businesses I've worked in, all the companies I've worked in, to make that kind of money, I had to work 40 and 50 hours a week. And in this business, to bring in full-time income, you can work 10, 12, 15 hours a week. I work 15 to 20, and I love it. It's the most enjoyable job I've ever had, and I really love having my own hours and being my own boss. So we're going to get started on some of the products and talk a little bit more in depth about the ownership of our company. The top 7 reasons for getting in a direct selling business. These came from the Wall Street Journal. 5 of them did last year. There was a 40-page supplement that was published in June of 2011. And if you need a copy of that, I can certainly get one for you after this presentation. The first one is, this is a home-based business. In any home-based business you join, there are large tax write-offs. It's called the Home-Based Business Tax Advantage. There are over 158 write-offs. And I'm actually now a year and a little bit more into the business. I'm able to give you some real true statistics. My parents are both realtors on the shoreline of Connecticut. They've been very successful. They've done amazing things in real estate, but they've also gone through 2 market crashes. So our family knows great success and great loss. We've also lost a home to foreclosure years ago because of it in the 80s. But what I want to tell you is my parents actually filed their taxes this year, and my dad was smart enough to ask his accountant, who is one of the partners of my accountant who introduced us to Qivana, and he said, let me know what my refund's going to be prior to the home-based tax advantage being applied. And so prior to that, my parents would have taken home $2,000 in refunds for last year. And after the home-based tax advantage, they took home $9,000. So it was a $7,000 increase because of being involved in a direct sales company. So if you want to lower your tax burden, that's a huge reason why a lot of people join one of these companies. It doesn't have to be Qivana, but a home-based business can really give you some serious tax advantages. Choose your own part-time hours. That was really important for me. Of all the people on my team, we are all busy executives, moms, dads, multiple businesses, jobs, 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week. Some people work 2 jobs. And so being able to work this into your own life is really exciting, and that's what makes it easy to do. But I will tell you, the average person on my team works 7 to 10 hours a week, and then my big earners work 10 to 12, sometimes 15 hours a week. But even then, it's amazing what you can generate in income in that short amount of time. It will not interfere with your current job, so you can keep doing what you're doing. And what I like to tell everyone is, you can do this with your job. You can keep your job going now and keep making your money and doing what you're doing. But at the same time, right below that, you can be spending a little bit of hours in your week and putting those towards building your Qivana business. And when you do that, eventually what you'll see is that your pay will start to go up in Qivana to the point where it actually meets or exceeds what you're currently making in your full-time position. So if you're looking to fire your boss, I love that phrase. If you're looking to retire yourself out of what you're doing, this is the way to go. And it will take two years. It'll take 12 months. It could take 8 months. For Don and I, it took us 14 months to be able to sell 2 of our 3 businesses. So as of today, I am only working Qivana and helping my husband just do construction, and construction is still slow. If you are looking just to supplement your income, a lot of realtors are on my team, insurance agents, mortgage brokers, single moms and dads who aren't making ends meet, teachers. A lot of them are actually just doing this so they can bring in $2,000 to $3,000 extra a month with not having to travel to a part-time job, not having to sit behind a desk or deal with a boss, and they're able to work it into their schedule. The beauty is today I was at the pool with my kids. I was at not my pool, but a friend's pool, and I was able to make 3 phone calls while I was laying on a raft, and I was able to, bring in some business. So it's your office can be anywhere in the world, anywhere you want to be. You could be on a beach, you could be at a park, you can be in your home. I'm in my dining room right now, in my slippers, and I'm building my business. So it's a lot of fun. Work a finite amount of time because of timing and grow your monthly income over a period of time. Understand that you can come out of the gate quick or you can come out of the gate slow. That's up to you. But the beauty is you can grow your income over a period of time. And what I'm excited to say is that 14 months in, Don and I went from foreclosure with no money in severe, severe debt to 14 months later, we're making a 5-figure income a month right now. So we're, what can I say? It brings tears to my eyes when I think about it, that we were able to build this as we were going through all that hell for the last 18 months. So very exciting to see that you can do that. That's the potential. Again, you have to put the work in. This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme, but it certainly is a very lucrative way of making money. The finite amount of time because the timing is absolutely what we're going to talk about later today. It's why I joined this company when I saw that we would be able to get ourselves in early and ahead of the trend. The trend right now is pharmaceuticals are not the first thing people are picking up and going to fix their health. What people are doing is going to natural products, and that's a global shift that's happened. And the old paradigm of picking up going to the phone and going to your doctor is kind of over. Pharmaceuticals will always be needed and will always save lives, but there's a whole nother industry, and it's the wellness industry, and it's absolutely booming. And that's what I'm passionate about. So I really love that our products are working. They work for so many people, and we have incredible testimonies to share with you. The income you can bring in is unlimited. I've never been able to bring $10,000 in a month in any position I've been in and still have time to go to a pool and go to the gym and get my hair done. So I do like the lifestyle it affords me. Have I worked hard to get here? Absolutely, no doubt about it. If you're just looking to kind of dabble in it and do, an hour here, an hour there, and maybe 5 to 8 hours a week, you can still pay a mortgage payment or a car payment or both in the month. So it's really up to you. You can become debt-free in a short period of time, and that's the most exciting part for us, is that we're really quickly paying off in our debt. No one wants to be in debt. All right, Qivana has a tax deductor in their back office. This is complimentary to you. This comes with your premium website that you get when you join our company. And I love this because you can just put all of your expenses right in and it tracks it. And at the end of the year, you just hand it to your accountant. So it's an amazing, this company does amazing things, and this is one of them. These are our founders. I have to say, I've worked for some pretty incredible businessmen in my life, and I will say these 5 gentlemen, I'd put them up against any Fortune 500 company. The 4 younger gentlemen you see, this was what impressed me greatly, is they've built 3 of those 15 companies I mentioned earlier. So they've taken companies from non-existence to multi-million and multi-billion-dollar status, including the company named Nu Skin, Zango, and Tahitian Noni. They are all involved in direct sales. They know how to bring products to market. They've collectively brought over 67 products out to market in their careers, and it's exciting to see what they're doing with Qivana. And when you hear our company vision, you're going to be blown away. Derek Hall is the older gentleman you see in the striped tie. He has the most impressive resume of all. Derek Hall has 25 years of pharmaceutical experience and 20 years in nutraceuticals. So 45 years combined in pharmaceuticals and nutraceuticals. He was the chief sales officer of McKesson Pharmaceutical for 10 years and took them from $10 billion to $23 billion in less than 10 years with no mergers or acquisitions. That's very, very, very impressive. If you're in sales, you know that's $1 billion a year in gross volume and gross sales. That's incredible. President and CEO of Nature's Way, Botanicals International, and Integrative Therapeutics. The reason Derek left after 25 years of McKesson was because he had the vision of opening a nutraceutical division. He's a visionary. He knew that's where the world was headed, and he knew it before anyone on the board of McKesson did. And so he left there because they decided that that wasn't for them, and he went on to Nature's Way. And if you know Nature's Way, I think everyone knows Nature's Way. They're all over the place. They're in every store I go to, Rite Aid, Walgreens, CVS, Walmart, you name it. But when he got in, Nature's Way was a fledgling $10 million company, barely making a profit. And in 3 years, he tripled their sales. And now that they are the second largest retail brand in the world. And he knows what he's doing. And he went on to botanicals. He went on to integrative therapeutics. At botanicals, he doubled their, 61% growth in their first year and 100% growth in the second year involved in that company. So he knows how to move product. He is a marketing genius in my mind, and he's built some of the world's largest brands. You can be very confident with our management team. They have been around and they know what they're doing. They've also attracted some of the biggest doctors in the world. These guys are #1 in their fields. And again, if I'm going to do something, everyone who knows me knows if I'm going to do it, I want to do it big and I want to do it best. But I'm really big on integrity, and I'm big on having people behind you that, are not snake oil salesmen. And in this business, in this company, I've been really impressed in the past 14 months to see the caliber of people they bring in, who they surround themselves with as a corporate entity. And who they brought in was Dr. Marcus Lowe. He's the #1 naturopathic doctor in the world. He started the bioidentical hormone revolution. He has a television show on PBS called Natural Health. He's created many products, but 2 of the products he's brought into our company are Core Essentials and Probiotics. And we are so proud to be able to license those products and be able to get those products out to the world. It's your job and my job as an independent business owner in Qivana to spread the word about these products and about this company, and that's what we're paid to do. We are the marketing arm of Qivana, and we get paid very, very well. You can get paid for a lifetime if you work 3 to 4 years, maybe 5 at the max now, part-time. You can get paid for a lifetime on what we do now, and it's very exciting. Donald Layman, Dr. Donald Layman is the #1 doctor in the world for metabolism. He's done over 32 years of research in metabolism, diet, obesity. Google this man. He is known all over the world, and they call him the father of metabolism. And there are many people, including myself. I have a severe thyroid disorder called Hashimoto's disease, and I couldn't be prouder to be in a company with him because I knew who he was before I got in this company. And when I knew Dr. Layman was aligned in Qivana, that lended real credibility to this company, because I had gone home and tried to fix myself after the doctor told me I had Hashimoto's, and all of his research is what I was reading, and I didn't understand half of it, but I knew he was the man. So he's created our metabolic system, and you're going to be really impressed with the science behind it. He is also the doctor who created the new plate look. So when you see that the food pyramid is gone, there's a new plate look. Dr. Layman actually published and created that 3 years ago. It was published, and now the USDA was able to get rid of that food pyramid, which was causing massive obesity rates to really rise across the globe. And now we have the new plate look, which is all about balancing your plate and balancing your proteins to your fats to your smart carbs. And it really does change the body composition of people who follow it. So I'm really excited to show you that science today. Dr. Isaac Ilya is an independent business owner in Qivana. He's not on our scientific advisory board, so he's just like me. He came in, he decided to become a business owner, but he has an amazing background in immunity and cancer prevention. If you look him up, he's like the Dr. Oz of our company. He's an MD with an MS in clinical herbology, so he marries natural medicine and traditional medicine, just like you see on TV now. More and more, if you turn on the TV, what are you seeing? You see Dr. Oz, you see the doctors, you see all of these shows talking about what salmon can do for your cholesterol, your heart rate, what certain herbs can do and spices can do. We're going back to what our roots are and what our ancestors did. We're going back to primal living, which is living off of the things that are on the earth to make us healthy, to detoxify our bodies, and to boost immunity. And that's what Qivana is all about. We bring out the best in natural medicine and in natural supplements before anyone else does. And we bring to the market things that have never been seen before. So you're not going to see Qivana do multivitamins. You're not going to see us do fish oils. You're going to see us bring herbs to the market that may not have ever been seen before, like the Gynostema pentaphyllum that I'm going to show you today. It's an incredible Chinese herb. And that's what we do, and that's what's so exciting about Qivana. We're on cutting-edge science, and everything we put to the market has clinical human trials behind them, published science, real studies. And that's really important because a lot of what you buy in the market right now doesn't have that kind of science behind it. And it's important to understand that when you're in a company like this, you want to have the safest standards for safety, the highest standards for safety, excuse me, and the safest products on the market. And you want efficacy, products that work. And Qivana brings both to the marketplace. Dr. Norm Hord has been involved in cancer prevention as well. He's a registered dietitian. He's amazing, but he's helped bring out our Prime Nitric Oxide Activator, which is a cardiovascular supplement that we're going to talk about today that is really changing the world. Nitric oxide, the discovery of this was a Nobel Prize about the molecule nitric oxide, and we're going to talk about that momentarily. A little bit about our team. When I got involved in the company was doing about $2.5 million a month. We're now at over $4 million a month. That's how fast Qivana is growing. When I first got in as well, we were in 3 countries. We're now in 5. So it's very exciting to see our growth and how quickly we're growing and how fast the products are moving off the shelves. We cannot hold on to some of these products, including the Core Essentials. This is a product that is so hot we can't hold on to it. Exciting stuff. But when I was introduced, Mike Eruzione, Dan Jansen, and Bonnie Blair, all gold medal Olympians, all icons in the Olympic world, they're well known, and they were involved in the company not as endorsers, not as sponsors, but they got in as product users because someone introduced Mike Eruzione to the products. He quickly fell in love, as many people do, and when you try our products, you'll be blown away by how you feel. And he introduced Bonnie and Dan, and they decided to fly out to Utah last year and said that they wanted to do an endorsement, as they had never done before with another supplement company. And our owners shook their heads and said, sorry, we don't do endorsements, but you can join just like anyone else. Put your credit cards down and start a team. And so they did. And my husband and I signed in about 6 levels from Mike and Dan Jansen. So when I tell you you're on a great team, having these guys has been incredible. And actually, give me 1 second. I have to grab something. This magazine is a national magazine called Prosper. It's for home-based business solutions. And on the front says, Qivana gold medalist, put pedal to the metal with Qivana. This entire magazine is, I was just down in North Carolina visiting family, and I went into Barnes & Noble, and there it was. You can see this magazine on book stands and newsstands everywhere. And what's exciting is these Olympians put their names down without even an endorsement, and they're building an amazing team. We're the fastest growing team in Qivana and also the youngest, and having them behind us is huge. They brought in Nadia Comaneci. They brought in her husband, Bart Connor. And if you know, the Olympics are starting next month. Nadia and Bart are going to be announcers for the gymnastics portion of the Olympics, and you'll be hearing Qivana's name, as well as you're going to hear that Alicia Sacramone, who is a current gymnast who will be in the Olympics, she's on our products, and Qivana just passed the stringent standards that the Anti-Doping Association has. So she's able to take our products, and that is what she thrives on. There are so many athletes coming into the company and using our products, which we're really proud of. We also have Jackie Joyner-Kersee, Al Joyner, and then I believe there's 10 Olympians now, gold medalists, so very exciting. We have some pro athletes. We can't use some of their names, but I will tell you, both teams were in the Super Bowl, if that helps. We have starting NFL players on our products. We have UFC fighters, boxers. We have the Gold Pro, David Ledbetter, #1 golf pro trainer in the world. Trainers, I could go on and on. NASCAR guys, an Indy 500 guy, Eddie Cheevers, who won the championship, who won the Indy 500. Got some pretty big boxing trainers, and the reason why they're doing this is they're not just in this just for products. Understand the products work, but many of them come in because they have that fear of loss. They want to be on something ground floor. They want to build a residual income. Many of these athletes, after they're out of the NFL, there is no money for them. There isn't a 10-year stipend that they get. So with something like Qivana, they know they can build a paycheck. If they start growing a team now, 10 years from now, they can still have that paycheck coming in because they got these products out to the world. So that's what they're all excited about. That's what we're excited about. And we have them at our disposal anytime to use them on phone calls, and they come to all of our events. Here's one of our systems, metabolic. We have 3 systems on the market. Qivana does synergistic product systems, which means there's no more guesswork. There's no more confusion. You're not going to go to a store and have to decide, I need this, I need that, which one's best. We take the confusion out of it. It's amazing what happens when there are 4 or 5 products in one system. You can hit multiple maladies in your body. I always tell people, I got on one of the products, and the Core Essentials, this green one, and I got on it because of my thyroid and for energy and for just to feel better. And it ended up dealing with things that I had no idea it would deal with. Like my allergies are almost non-existent. I have very severe allergies, cat allergies, all kinds of stuff. Spider veins, bye-bye. After 6 months of using it, my spider veins literally just faded away, which was a shocker. And things like that, things you didn't know would be helped. Some gum issues I had, the bleeding gums are gone. So there are some things that you'll find out when you put a system together. You can hit multiple maladies in the body with one system. So it's an easy thing to just put in your cart, be able to purchase it. Someone can go right to your website and purchase it. Metabolic is a 90-day program to correct metabolism. That was a big statement to make. And, you know, because I have a thyroid disease, I was like, is this going to work? Is it not going to work? It works. It puts muscle on your body. It burns fat away. We have incredible testimonies. It's over 30 years of research behind this. This is Dr. Lehman's baby, and there's incredible science behind it. And what you're doing is building muscle, preserving lean muscle tissue, and because of that, the more muscle on your body, the more fat you burn. There is nothing else on the market that corrects metabolism. We're the world's first and the world's only metabolism correction program. You do not get on a scale. Everything is based on the inches lost, because on a scale, you actually will put weight on our system because you're putting muscle on, and muscle weighs more than fat. But you can be a much tinier version of yourself because of it. So it's exciting to see. And the tighter you are, your skin gets tighter because you have more muscle as well. So you don't have that skinny fat look. Everything just gets tighter and toned. And I'm going to show you what's in the system. We have 4 products in the system. Our metabolic shakes, they're amazing. Metabolic sticks. I'm an Italian girl. I am not going to sugarcoat things. We love food in my family. And the one thing I love about this system is I'm not hungry. When I am following this correctly, there is no hunger. And when you have no hunger, you don't think about food. So the metabolic shakes have 29 grams of the highest grade protein in the world. And it triggers leucine production in your body, which just means that it's triggering the amino acid that helps to actually preserve lean metabolic tissue while you're losing fat, because on most diets you do what? You eat away your lean muscle tissue. So at the end of a diet, you may have lost weight, but you also lost a ton of muscle, which means your metabolism slows. And I was on so many crash diets over the years that I ended up with metabolic syndrome because I was constantly eating away at my lean metabolic tissue and had no idea I was doing it. So my burn rate has gone through the roof. I've actually brought it up several hundred calories a day, which is extraordinary. Another thing is metabolic stick is our protein bar, but it's not just a protein bar. It's a fat burning bar, and you're getting 30 grams of protein. There's 15 grams in it, and it metabolizes as 30 because there are branched chain amino acids in it, and it's an amazing product that my children love. We came out with a new peanut butter bar that tastes like a Reese's peanut butter cup. I can't even tell you. There are people on who will tell you now in the chat that it is amazing. My 6-year-old would rather eat a peanut butter bar from Qivana that has 200 calories, 9 grams of fat, and is a fat burning than he would any other garbage that he can find. So these products work, but they taste great, and that's what's really incredible. Metabolic Resist Boost. Boost is our thermogenic fat burner, one of my favorites. It's got L-carnitine, decaf green tea, B6, B12, and cayenne pepper. You take it 30 minutes before meals, and I love this product because it takes down the hunger and it starts burning more fat during the day. People who use the Boost lose 3 times the amount of fat and body weight than those who don't. We did 18 months of double-blind human clinical placebo studies. So that's amazing to see what happened in those 18 months. The Resist is a little pill that you put on your tongue. It's an all-natural Indian herb, and it blocks the sugar receptors on your tongue. So if you have a need for something sugary and you put that on your tongue first, it will taste like cardboard. You'll spit it out. So it's a great way to kind of repress sugar cravings. And then if you do swallow it, you're not able to absorb the sugar. Our core system, this is my favorite system. Why is this my favorite system? Because it has the most life-changing testimonies out of anything in our company right now. This has changed my mother's life, my husband's life. It's changed my marriage because of my husband being able to feel better. So we're going to talk about what this does. This system has 4 products, but it hits digestion, immunity, detoxification, pain, and inflammation. All 5 of those things in one system, which I love. So again, just like what I said, that system has, multiple maladies can be hit at once. So the core probiotic has a triple acid resistant layer. So it's our delivery system that's different than anything else on the market. That's what Qivana does. They do things different. And most probiotics are rendered ineffective because they don't make it down to your lower intestine, because the stomach acid that can eat through a penny will actually eat through the probiotic and render it ineffective or partially ineffective because it doesn't get down to where it needs to be. The good bacteria that we put in this, the billion flora a day, need to be in your lower intestine where 90% of your immune system is. There are so many antibiotics in our foods, in our milk, in our meats, and we're taking too many antibiotics as a nation, that we don't have enough good flora. And if you don't have enough good flora, there's an imbalance in your immune system and you're more open and susceptible to things. So the reason we want you on the probiotic daily is because we want to boost your immunity and we want you to have better absorption of all the high-powered nutrients and herbs that we put in your body. So it's the first line of defense, and I love this product. A lot of testimonies on IBS, some on Crohn's. I have 5 people with Crohn's that have had great results. And we cannot make claims in any natural product company, but I will tell you we can brag about testimonies. And my mother's IBS is completely, she's been rid of it, and it's exciting. She's 63 years old. Another one that I want to tell you is there's a girl with Crohn's disease who's 24 years old in upstate New York. She's on my team. Her name is Nicole, and she's had amazing results with this and with the essentials combined, and we'll talk about that in a minute. The Core Detox and Defense, these 2 products are from Dr. Ilias. These are amazing. The Core Detox gets your body rid of mercury, lead, arsenic, aluminum, cadmium, radioactive elements, and free radicals. You can go out and do the crazy programs to cleanse your body. This is 1 or 2 pills a day and it's done. And I actually have an amazing testimony on this. A woman named Carol Coffey from Connecticut. She had a very, very toxic level of mercury in her system. She's now building a really great team. She came in just because of this product. She had such a high level, the doctors didn't know what to do with her. The town that she lives in actually contacted her because the doctor had to report it. And she still doesn't know where the mercury came from. But in the last 3 months, she was able to rid her body completely of mercury. Her levels are now 0. So that was just remarkable. And that's what this product does. It's an all-natural product with modified citrus pectin that's had over 40 years of published studies, and it does what it says it'll do. It takes those impurities out of your body through your waste. So amazing. Everybody should be doing detox because we get pummeled with toxins daily. What happens when you detoxify your body? Your immune system can fight off the normal colds and flus because it's not fighting off all of the things that are sitting in your body's tissues. So just a great way to improve your health. Core Defense, one of my favorites. Because of my autoimmune disease, I used to get colds and flus, and I was a girl who was sick all of the time, always getting swollen glands. And honestly, I've been sick 4 or 5 times in the last 14 months, and that is record-breaking for me. And I'm so excited about this product, but my husband has not been sick in 14 months, and we have 2 children. The ones that, my 6-year-old's always wiping his nose and coming home from school full of germs. And so this product is actually in clinical studies. It's 6 medicinal mushrooms that are the most potent mushrooms in the world, and they're grown on an adaptogenic bed of soil, just so it's powerful soil. These are super mushrooms, and you take these. You can take 1 a day like I do. I just do it to be proactive. But if you start feeling sick, you can take 2 or 3 of them. I got sick to the point where I was really feeling not great, and someone said you need to take every 3 hours, just take 2, and I did, and it wiped it out of my body within about 36 hours. And I knew I was getting really sick. So this product is amazing. What it does in clinical studies is it ups the killer white T cells in your blood by 4 times the natural amount. So very exciting to see. Helps with bronchitis, pneumonia, and all of those things that we get hit with on a daily basis. So I can tell you, for my 6-year-old, I put it right in his applesauce. I open one up, and whenever he starts getting a little funky, I give it to him, and it's been amazing to see him as well. He loves it. It doesn't taste like anything. It looks like cinnamon applesauce. Core Essentials. This is the one I talked about earlier. If this was the only product in our company, I would still be involved in Qivana because this is the one that changed my husband's life. And many thousands of other people that I know now. This is that Chinese herb I mentioned, Gynostema pentaphyllum. Dr. Oz, you can go onto his website. He talked about Gynostema pentaphyllum last year in 2011 on 2 separate shows. And he talks about it being one of the most powerful discoveries in natural medicine because this herb has been around since 1972. Well, that's when it was discovered. It's been around for centuries. And it's one of the most powerful anti-inflammatories I've ever seen. It goes in the body and it sees what's out of balance and it puts it into a homeostasis. And what I will tell you about this herb is it helps with liver detoxification. It helps with depression, fatigue, anxiety, restless legs, lowers blood pressure, lowers cholesterol, and it's exciting. There's a whole book on this called The King's Crown. If you go online today, look up gynostemma, Gynostemma, penta, Penta, phylum, Phylum. I think I spelt it right. Gynostemma pentaphyllum. If you look it up on third-party websites, you will see the amazing medicinal properties. And the Chinese have known about this herb for centuries. And there were people living to 90, 100, 110 years old that were having incredible long health, very good, amazing health, with all their teeth, all their hair, low incidence of any cancer or any issues. And because of this herb, we found out that they were steeping it in their tea for centuries. And when the research scientists found out in 1972 that it was Gynostemma pentaphyllum, they brought it to the market as a tea. But guess what? The tea tastes horrible. It's a very, very bitter tasting root. Qivana's owners, I love this. Dr. Lowe came in and said, I want to put this to market. And he put it in a palatable form. We're the only company in the world that has this. We put it in it and we microencapsulated it. You pour it on your tongue. It's like a little pixie stick. It's powdered and it's mixed with stevia and a little Chinese ginseng, Korean ginseng and Chinese skullcap. And what I tell you is this. For a girl who couldn't move around with Hashimoto's, I have energy beyond energy, and there's no spike in your energy. It's not an energy that makes you feel jittery. It's such a calm, amazing, powerful feeling. You can use it before a workout. My husband takes 3 to 4 a day. He had advanced Lyme disease and full-blown arthritis through his whole body at the age of 51. And in our 3rd week in the business, he was able to open and close his hands in the morning, and his carpal tunnel is completely gone. He was about to have surgery. So my family is a perfect testimony on what this product can do for you, and I could go on. And there are other people who are putting testimonies in now. If this is the only thing that comes out of today and you end up buying this product and it changes your health, then I did my job. If the business isn't for you, that's okay, because I get more joy out of seeing people's health be improved than anything. The paychecks are nice, but it's more important to change people's health, and this is a product that will change your life and the person that you love that is in pain. So do some research on this. You'll be blown away. All right, we're going to go through these quick. These are some testimonies. This woman's cholesterol, 9 weeks. That's the picture that you see. That's a 9-week photo. Cholesterol, 280 down to 138 off 11 medications. That's Barb. Cindy Helton, I think Cindy's watching. I saw her before. 9 medications she's off of. Since March of 2010, she was spending $450 to $500 a month on copays. Everything from a nebulizer to Nexium to Nasacort to Ambien to Allegra D. Amazing to see that her health is so improved. And if you're on, Cindy, if you could give us a little testimony in the chat box. Charlie Palmer, off 3 meds for blood pressure. Jennifer Martin, one of my favorite girls from Florida. I met her twice at our convention, and this is not her mother's photo. This is her before and after. She lost 110 pounds. She's now a triathlete. She looks amazing. I'm going to hook you up, Monique, with that stuff, because both what you're talking about is both the essentials, but also the prime helps with circulation. So we'll talk about that in a minute. Soretta's off 3 meds. This is a gentleman named James this is his 90-day photo. He was not at his goal weight, but he lost 55 pounds. Tell me he doesn't look amazing. It's such a change in his entire body. We give away a cruise every year to a team and to an individual. So James won the Caribbean cruise, all expenses paid for 2 last year. And the team grand prize, Steve and Missy Deer, they've combined lost 211 pounds. They're now writing a book about their experience. So just remarkable to see their health gain back and all the years they've gained back. All right, our 3rd and final product system. This is Prime. Nitric oxide is critical in your body. I had no idea what nitric oxide was until this product was released in February of this year. On the business end, our paychecks doubled. Why did they double? Literally overnight they doubled because so many people need this product. Qivana is the only company that has come out with a nitric oxide product that is 7 years in development that uses all of the body's systems to produce nitric oxide. Once you understand what I teach you today about nitric oxide, you will never look at your body again the same. And let me explain. Any risk factor, and if you read that right on the screen, any risk factor for cardiovascular disease is associated with the loss of nitric oxide. As the years go on, you make less and less nitric oxide in your body. It's a miracle molecule that was discovered, and in 1998, those 3 scientists won a Nobel Prize. Out of 101 Nobel Prizes, the discovery of nitric oxide is ranked as number 4. That is behind the X-ray, penicillin, and insulin. Number 4, nitric oxide being one of the most critical to human health in the world. When I heard that, I was blown away. And here's what I'm going to tell you about it. These are the 3 scientists. There's the Nobel Prize. You can do some research on this yourself. These 3 statements are huge, okay? We talked about any risk factor right there of the Mayo Clinic, but here's the first one. The discovery of nitric oxide is the most important in the history of cardiovascular medicine. That's from the president of the American Heart Association. Nitric oxide is the body's way of protecting against cardiovascular disease. What is a cardiovascular disease? Heart attack, stroke, anything to do with the cardiovascular system, nitric oxide is directly related. So if you have low nitric oxide or no nitric oxide or depleted nitric oxide in your system, then you're at risk. This is just a statement that's being made by the medical community, not by Qivana. This is what your arteries look like all the way to the right when you have low or no nitric oxide. What happens is the endothelial wall, because it's not making enough nitric oxide, it starts to get, instead of being elastic, it starts to harden and shrink. So if you have very good nitric oxide in your system, you have expanding veins that open and that have free blood flow. But the less nitric oxide, the more constricted your veins. And so if you look at this, that's what a dilated artery looks like after you've taken one of these packets. Now, if you're someone who can juice every day and get your nitric oxide up naturally by putting all the botanicals in your body, just like acai and pomegranate and beet juice and cherry and celery seed extract, if you can do that on a daily basis, that's great, but most of us don't have the time. So this right here is actually able, sorry, it's upside down, this is all of the top 8 botanicals in the world that are the highest ranking for producing nitric oxide. It tastes, I love the taste of it. It's like a little cherry, I don't know, it's like fruity. Put it in your mouth in the morning first thing. It starts mixing with your saliva. It starts going into your intestinal tract, and boom, it starts to lower your blood pressure because it starts to vasodilate your arteries. It's an amazing product for high blood pressure. More importantly, as time goes on, as I just said, at 40, you're producing half of what you are at 20. So as we get older, we're making less and less. So here it is. We are the first NO supplement, nitric oxide supplement, on the market to use all the body systems, not just L-arginine. Everything else on the market just uses one pathway. We use all of them, which is why no one can even touch our product right now. All right, so here's what it does, and we're going to go through the list. It improves circulation. It helps send a signal to relax the arteries and open up blood flow. Your body, every organ needs to have blood flow. For me, my personal testimony is I don't have high blood pressure. Mine's always been a little bit low. But with my Hashimoto's and my thyroid, I've always had freezing cold hands and feet. I know you guys can't feel my hands right now, but I have not been this warm in a long time. I'm getting the circulation that I need. I'm not cold at night anymore. My husband's thrilled because I'm not turning the heat up every night. And I know I feel better. And it also regulates hormones, which is huge when you have any type of endocrine issue. This maintains healthy blood pressure. It combats that premature cardiovascular aging, and that's where strokes and heart attacks occur. It improves sexual function. I'm going to go back to that one in a minute. And it supports brain cell communication, memory, and healthy cognition. The sexual function part, it gets blood flow below the belt for both men and women. That means increased libido. And that also means for men it helps with erectile dysfunction in many cases. So it's getting the blood down to those tissues. So I believe Prime is going to help lower the divorce rate in the world, because I get testimonies all the time from people saying, thank you for introducing us to Prime. It helps in that area as well. So I know some of you are laughing, but it is the truth, and I blush a little, but it is the truth, and it's an awesome product. All right, so let's get to the business end and let's wrap it up. The baby boomers, Generation X and Y, this is the first time in history that all three demographics are choosing natural products first. This is not something that Qivana is stating. This is just what's happening in the world. And when you have all three demographics buying natural products first, that makes for a massive market trend. And that's what we're seeing. Wellness is now a $1.9 trillion market. It was actually predicted that it would be a $1 trillion market by 2010. And the gentleman who predicted that, Paul Zane Pilzer, who is a world economist, and he's been an economic advisor to two presidents. If you look up the book, The Next Trillion, it's an amazing book to read. I have it on CD in my car, and I listen to it. What a man. He predicted the housing boom. He's predicted many things, and he's never been wrong. He predicted that wellness would be a $1 trillion market, and he was wrong. It's now a $2 trillion market in 2012. Germany, Mexico, Canada, Vietnam, and the U.S. and Puerto Rico are the 5 countries we're open in. We're doing record-breaking sales in Vietnam. As I said, we're doing over $4 million a month. Very exciting. And we are currently moving into Taiwan, Thailand, and Brazil. Those 3 countries in the next 10 months. And this is how ground floor we are. You guys have no idea how blessed we are to be in so early. Because really, truly, to do well in a direct sales company, you need to do 2 things. You need to be positioned early before the big boom, and you need to work. You got to work. I'm sorry. It's not like you sign in and do nothing. You do need to work. Nutrition industry is growing by leaps and bounds. Amazing how this is during recession is still growing by the billions. Yet everything as far as health is declining around us. Obesity, strokes, cancer, Alzheimer's, childhood cancers and obesity through the roof because we are such a toxic society. Our air, our water, our food is so polluted. So this industry is just where it's at. People want answers and people want to feel better. And people want to age gracefully. So here is obesity in 1985. As we can remember, that was a great year, but it was not when obesity was an issue. But look at 2008. I don't even have the most current, and I know there'd be more red and more dark red for 2011. This is my favorite slide. This is what got me as a businesswoman to see the business end of this for me and my family. As I mentioned earlier, if you heard earlier, we said that we were in foreclosure last year at this time. So 3 days before Christmas, I got a UPS envelope, a next day air from the bank saying that we had been able to prove, even though we had been denied, we had gotten our Qivana income up high enough that that monthly income was steady. And it was showing the bank that we could afford to start paying our mortgage again. So 3 days before Christmas, I broke down at my kitchen table and started to cry because if we didn't have that Qivana income, they definitely would have foreclosed in January of this year. So I am just thrilled that I was able to be in a company and be introduced to a company that allows me to make money really around the clock and on my own schedule. Momentum. Here's the word that's probably going to make you not sleep tonight. Momentum is a 3 to 5 year run where a company explodes. Nike went through momentum. There are many companies out there have gone through momentum. It's not every company does, but when a company does go through momentum, it's 10 to 20% growth a month, every month, month after month for 3 to 5 years. I predict, just me, and there were several executives in our company who agree with me that we will go 5 to 7 years. And why will we go 5 to 7 years? Couple reasons. Because of the 4 systems we're coming out with. I'm going to just ask you a question. I want you guys to think very carefully. Would any of these products that I'm going to mention, these systems, do you think these would be a big market for these? Here we go. Childhood obesity and weight loss. Do you think there's a market for getting kids healthy, all natural? Menopausal weight loss for women, where we balance hormones naturally and get women to feel healthy and lose the weight that they need. Do you think there's a market for that? That's the second system that Qivana has already ready, waiting in the wings to be released every year. We're going to release a new system. Do you think there's a market for brain health, for dementia and Alzheimer's and detoxifying the brain tissue? Do you think there's a market for that? Massive markets these are. When I have a live meeting like I did last night and people start going, oh my, yes, there's a huge market for that. That's what Qivana does and that's what we're doing. So we're way ahead of the trend. And the last one is sports and athletic endurance. That's being released in 2 more weeks. So I'm very excited to see that come out because we have so many incredible athletes in our company. So if you know people who are athletes, this is going to be specifically to peak their performance, help them with recovery and stamina, and get their bodies in peak shape. This is what I'm excited about. So those are the 4 systems coming out, hence why I believe that we will go 5 to 7 years. So what's going to happen is sometime at the end of this year or early fall, mid-fall, early winter, late winter, somewhere in there, Qivana will be launching off into momentum. Herbalife, Primerica, Melaleuca, Monavie, Avon, they all went through momentum. And people who position themselves early, many of them went on to make very good money and some went on to make fortunes. And there's no doubt in my mind, for every billion in sales we do, we will have over 1,000 people become millionaires. That really excited me. That's something that I really wanted to reach for. And if that's what you want, you're going to do more work than most people, but it is attainable, absolutely attainable. But if you bring someone in who wants to do that, and it's not you, but you've introduced them to the company, your team really will benefit, and you will benefit as well for bringing them into Qivana. So last thing I'll say about this slide is that after the 3 to 5 year run, what you enter is a stabilization stage. It's where a company's branded, they're known, they're viral. Herbalife does $3 billion in sales a year. They're known all over the world. But if you get into a company like that now, and they're a fantastic company with fantastic products, you grow 2 to 10%, maybe 15% a year. Whereas in a pre-momentum company, when you go in, you can go 10 to 20% a month, every month, in and out for 3 to 5 years. So that's where the wealth is made. That's where the excitement is. And if you do some research online, you'll understand that positioning is really critical. And I am so proud to be in. It is not easy to be in early when no one knows us. It is not easy to go out there and share something and have people be skeptical, but it's so well worth it when you fight through that and you find the people who understand what this is and they get it, and then they fall in love with the products, because that's all this is finding people who want to build a business or finding people who want to live and love on the products. I have hundreds of people out of the 1,100 on my team who are just product users who will never get off the essentials or the prime because it's critical to their health. And so that's what this is, finding people who want to use these products and love them across the globe, or finding people who want to change their financial future. And that's an exciting part of the business. All you do is get paid to find those people. Let's wrap it up. Ground floor company, powerful money-making opportunity, full-time income with part-time effort, own your own business without the risk, and you get all the tax benefits. You don't do the old school. You don't have to stock your house with product. You don't have to write receipts. All that's done for you. Everything's done through the internet now. I don't even touch products except for when I take them or give them to my children or husband. No inventory, no bookkeeping, no worrying about setting up a website. None of the problems that come across with opening your own business. The only thing you have to do is brag about the company and present the company plan to people. Everything else is done for you. It's amazing. If you have 7 ways to earn money, I'm not going to get too into it, but we do get paid well. I'll explain. In my first month, I made $6,953. That's burned into my brain. And at the end of 12 weeks, we made $17,000. And as I mentioned, we've turned it into $94,000 as of today. So don't tell me you can't make money in this business. You can. I'm so darn excited about it that I just go out and share it with everyone. And I'm so excited about how my husband feels. He's not in pain anymore. Okay, how do you get started? It's $45 to buy a spot in Qivana. That gets you a spot in the company on a team. If you join our team, I truly believe you have one of the best teams in the company, because you get me, you get our amazing leadership that we have. You get Chris Qivana, Albert Muir, Maureen and Jerry. All of us are here to help support you and help build your business. If you put 2 and 2 together and you just realize that you've got something big in your hands and then you're enthusiastic about it, the rest you'll learn as you go. So your enthusiasm is all that's necessary, and just be ready to be taught, and we'll help teach you. How do you buy a spot? After that $45 spot, you have to decide, what am I doing with this spot? Am I just a wholesale buying person? Because at $45, you can sign in your next door neighbor, and they can get the products at wholesale for the entire year, unlimited. Whatever they choose at 25 to 30% off what our retail prices are. So I have hundreds of people that are wholesale buyers, and every month they just keep reordering. And if they run out of their products, they usually call me because they're freaking out that they need the products. If someone says, yeah, I really would like to try the products, but I don't want to be a business owner, then usually they'll buy the $250 kit, which is called a Total Health Pack. It gives you metabolic core and prime, 30-day supply for one. So it's the one-time $250 purchase. And usually within a couple weeks of being on it, people feel so good that they naturally start just saying, okay, I've got people who want to hear, I have people who want to buy, and they end up doing the business like Kathy Schoenberg did. But if you want to do the business now and you're like me and Don and you said, you know what, I think I gotta take a stab at this and see where it goes, because that's really what our mindset was. It wasn't like, wow, we're set for life. It was, you know what, we can't miss this. We got to give it a shot. And in 4 days, I made my money back. So you can make your money back very quickly and be in the black a lot quicker than we were with any other business we've owned. How do you choose a business kit? Let me just tell you the differences in the three of them, and then you can make a decision for what's best for you and for your family. There's a $500 level. It's called a business kit. There's a $1,000 complete business kit, and then there's a $4,500 Power Retailers Pack. It's not on the slide because it's brand new. We just released it. 99% of the people you come in contact with won't buy that. It's for big businessmen or big businesswomen who can literally pick up a phone and sign 20 people in a day. So that one we won't talk about right now. But if that is you, I can certainly speak with you afterward and explain how that works. There's huge bonuses attached to that, and there's over $7,000 worth of product that you get. But for us normal folk, we usually choose the 500 or the 1,000. The $1,000 kit is what I came in at, and what I've only brought in 28 people to the company, and 24 of them have come in at the 1,000. And let me explain why. The first 12 weeks that you're building your Qivana business from home, you will be able to be considered a Platinum Pro, which is one level below where I am, which is Diamond. And at Platinum Pro, that's a very high level to be grandfathered in at. You're getting all the bonuses attached to being a Platinum Pro. So you get bonuses you wouldn't normally be qualified for. So it usually takes 6 to 10 months to get the Platinum Pro in our company. So you're getting it for the first 12 weeks. That's why I was able to net $17,000, if that makes sense. And at the $1,000 level, you get $1,240 worth of products. So you're getting almost $300 worth free. With it and all your books and DVDs. This is 30-day money back guaranteed on everything we sell, including our business kits. So please don't feel that you're stuck. If you feel in the first few weeks it's not for you, send it back. That's how great our company is and our owners are. At the $500 level, it's still a good level to come in at. You get 4 weeks, not 6. I have to change the slide. It's 4 weeks instead of 12. At gold level instead of Platinum Pro, and here's the Diamond, here's Platinum Pro, and here's gold. So you're getting gold level, which is a nice level to come in at, bonuses for 4 weeks. And it just puts more money in your pocket. We want to incent you to grow your business, and we want you to be successful. So there's why we do that. You get $600 worth of products, so you get 100 free instead of about $280. And you get your books, your DVDs, your brochures. So those are the 3 levels. You certainly can buy a $45 spot and do nothing, and you can still build a business at the $45. But here's the issue with that. Not buying a business kit, you're not getting the tools, you're not trying the products, and really once you've had your testimony, you're so excited and people see changes in your health that you're building your business naturally. It becomes second nature. People ask me, how did you lose weight? You look great, your skin looks great. And so naturally it opens up a conversation, and usually I either make a sale because they want to try what I'm on, or they want to do the business because they hear that we're making great money and they're in need. And there's so many people right now in this economy who need it. So I'm going to leave you with this last final thought. It's Friday night. I want you guys to go all out and enjoy. But here are the 3 packs. I'm going to leave you with a final thought. We're going to skip that because we don't need to go over that. We're going to skip that one. We don't need that one. If you look at Diamond level here, it says that we should be at about $10,725 a month. These are the levels. These are what you can make. We're about to hit Executive Diamond, so it's exciting. But that's money that I could have never made in any other business. When you learn how to leverage yourself, I want you to look up what leveraging and network marketing is. Just look that up. If you've never watched Brilliant Compensation by Tim Sales, please do. You can get it on YouTube. It tells you how you can make a small percentage of money on everyone's effort in your organization for life. And so these are willable, sellable, transferable positions. I want to leave you with a thought after I show you one more thing. We have car bonuses. Quite a few of us have our cars being paid for. You pick your car. They pay $300, $500, $750, or $1,000. Another nice thing they do. I don't like to hype this stuff up. This is just bonus stuff. Really what matters is health and helping people make a paycheck. We have an amazing trip to Italy, Greece, and Croatia this year. It's worth over $15,000, and you still have an opportunity to win this trip. That starts we're going to be going in November. We have amazing training. Training is incredible. You can do it at 2 in the morning if you can't sleep, and it's an awesome, awesome system right in your back office. And so I'll leave you with this final thought. My father and my mother did not want to hear about Qivana, but I knew that they were suffering with real estate, and I know that they've lost their 401k and that their house isn't worth what they could, sell it for, and I knew that they were struggling. So I kind of, as a daughter, as an Italian daughter, kind of threatened them a little and said, you're coming, because if I do well in this, I'm not paying for you to have a little house on my property. And they started laughing. They said, all right, we'll listen, because you're so excited, we'll listen. And they ended up joining, and they quickly became high-level people in the company because they have great integrity and they have an amazing Rolodex of people they know. And they're making right now, they're doing 5 to 8 hours of hours a week of work. They're making between 800 and 900 a week. It's supplementing their income in between the closings that aren't happening right now, and they've been forever grateful, and their team is really starting to really pick up the pace. So, to see that happen is awesome. But the story I want to tell you before we close is my father called his friend Joe. Joe lives in Brantford on the Water, and he's known him for decades. And my father knew that Joe was involved in Primerica. Back before Primerica, a direct sales company that sells insurance, life insurance, he got in before they went through Momentum. And he called Joe and he said, Joe, I know you used to be in Primerica. You did really well. I've got something big. Do you want to do it again? And he said, Rob, I can't do Qivana. He goes, I've heard of Qivana and you're going to do great. And they're a fantastic company. My dad was really surprised because no one knew Qivana even a year ago. And he said, I know the company, Robert. Don't worry about the naysayers. Put your head down, build your team. You're going to make really great money. So my dad said, are you in? He goes, I can't be in. I'm still making a paycheck from Primerica. He goes, I retired in 1994. And my dad goes, listen, whatever you're making, you're going to make more in Qivana. This is going to be huge. We're predicted to be a massive company. And Joe said, Robert, I'm still making $52,000 a month since 1994. What is it now, 2012? See, all he did in Primerica was get in 1987. He started building a team. All he did was look for people who wanted to become licensed Primerica salespeople, just like we look for people to become independent business owners. He trained them and supported them, just like we train people and support people. And he started growing a team across the U.S. It quickly spread. And now, because they went through Momentum and his paychecks went through the roof, he was able to retire. But see, his paycheck didn't retire, and I'll explain why. Because even today, when someone's life insurance comes out of their checking account, when their auto payment, just like people auto ship their products monthly, every time one of those goes through, Joe makes a very small commission on that sale. And so for you, every time someone takes another bite of a bar or opens another bottle of detox or orders another metabolic system or the weight loss or the children's fitness, every time they do, as long as they came in from one of your people or one of the descendants of the people you brought into Qivana, for the 3 to 4 years you work this, you will continue to make a paycheck. How big your organization is depends on you and what you put in. But I promise you, if you run with us 36 to 48 months as we go through Momentum, you will be really, really happy that you did something today that changed your entire future. So I look forward to having you on my team. I'll be here to answer questions. Have a wonderful night. Enjoy your families. Enjoy your weekend. Life is short, and God bless. Have a great night.